Episode 3765, is your schedule stealing your purpose?
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Happy day. Are you ready for a brand new week? Because it is Mindset Monday. And yes, it is time to get your impact on. Your influence is there, but you've got to be willing to rise up. Kick away the busyness of life. And I've got the question for you of the week. Is your schedule stealing your purpose? For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already had the opportunity, you'll want to head on over to createyournow.com where you can learn more and sign up for the Kisses newsletter. They keep it simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Well, this episode is brought to you by AIM, inspiring connection and community. You know, it's hard living a life without purpose. In fact, we are happier because we have purpose. But unfortunately, all that life offers us can lead us down Distraction Boulevard. Is your schedule stealing your purpose? Because purpose isn't just this feel-good buzzword. I mean, we know we've got those viral words that kind of hang out for a season. But purpose has been around for a long time. Go all the way back to the Bible. It's the fuel that drives the passion from within, something that says, I am made to do this. And when you wake up knowing what you do and why you do it, life suddenly feels worth living. But here's the blunt truth, because you know I'm going to be real with you, right? Your schedule might be stealing your purpose right under your nose. We live in this world overflowing with distractions, must-dos and must-haves. I got to get it done. Pressure's on. I've got to perform. I've got to be perfect because if not, I'm not good enough. And we have all these whispers in our head. The constant ping of notifications, endless tasks, and meetings can trap you to the point where your calendar just keeps filling up faster and faster than you can blink. And before you know it, you're sprinting through your days like a hamster on a wheel, which is really cute, by the way, but not cute for us. It wears us down fast. We become exhausted, then fatigued. And then it's like, yet somehow missing the very things that give our lives meaning. We want to do it all, but yet we can't do it all. And then we think, but isn't life supposed to be perfect? No, it's far from perfect. It throws curveballs that shift your path in unexpected directions, some good, some bad, some ugly. But no matter what chaos life tosses your way, losing your purpose isn't mandatory. Did you hear me? Just because you have kids doesn't mean you lose your purpose. You have choices in life. But what does get stolen is your time, your most valuable asset. And without time carved out for what truly matters, purpose falls by the wayside. It's like, I don't know. You can't let your schedule steal your purpose. That means you got to carve out intentional time. That is your Kiss to Keep It Simple strategy. Carve out intentional time. Take out your pen and paper. What matters to you? That intentional time is specific to your dreams. It's specific to your goals and your purpose. What you do with it is about who you are and who you are becoming. Don't give someone else control over your earthly purpose. Now, you have a divine purpose. You have an earthly purpose. Your divine purpose is your relationship with your Heavenly Father. Your earthly purpose is what gives you drive and passion here. The get up and go. The yes, I know that I was made to do this because of the gifts and talents that have been put within me. So what can you do? How do you carve out intentional time? How do you take back control of your schedule instead of letting it dictate your life? Because I know I had 5 kids. Well, I still have 5 kids. It's just that they're not little anymore. And their activities are different, obviously, and they're in control of their schedules, even though I try to be a part of their life. But I don't control their schedule. So I do my best to communicate with them, and if something major is coming up, I want to be a part of that. But back in the olden days when I was raising them, and they were just my littles, it was totally different. I had to juggle 5 kiddos' activities. Then you add on that homeschooling or private school or traditional school. And there were days I was like, I do not know if I'm going to be able to walk tomorrow because I got up running and I went to bed running. Is that really the life worth living? And as moms, I know we got it tough because we are balancing everything. Whether you're a single mom, a married mom, a mom that fills in because you just got to be there, mom, what you do matters. And so you've got to be able and willing to carve out intentional time, or otherwise you're going to be living a life that's not your life to live. And that's the key here. So what does it look like to carve out intentional time? Number one, get relentlessly honest about your calendar. Look at your schedule with a keen eye. Audit without holding back or hesitating. What meetings do you have? Tasks at hand. Maybe you need to push some things back. What habits are sucking your time with zero payoff? We all have them. What is it for you? If it doesn't align with your goals or your values, cut it or minimize it. Saying no isn't a weakness. It's a protection measure against what matters in the season that you're in. That makes you strong. But you have to be relentless when it comes to your schedule and be relentlessly honest with yourself. Because guess who controls your schedule? You do. Now, if you have 5 kids like I did, when they were younger, it was easier to manage. As they got older, it was like, okay, you can pick 2 outside activities from the school activities. And that allowed me to manage it because if it was a school activity, it would be done within kind of the description there. And then 2 outside activities, like, okay, we can't do any more. But you times that up and add it up with 5 kids, you're looking at 10 activities outside of school. This is when you're going, right? I mean, that's just the reality of it. But somehow you manage it. And that's the key. You're managing your schedule. And there's going to be seasons where you just have to say no because that's where you are. And I want to tell you this right now. Give yourself permission to say no. You don't have to burn the candle at both ends just to have that badge of busyness worn on your shoulder or on your chest or wherever you want to put it, on your phone, okay? You don't need that. That's life sucking. Number 2, simplify ruthlessly. We confuse being busy with being productive. Oh, I'm so busy. What if you change the word from busy to productive? I am productive. That, number 1, is harder to say. It slows you down. And honestly, it makes you think. I know because I've tried this. I've experimented with this in my own every day. And I'll call a few people that are my confidants and I'll be like, you know what? And I go to say busy and I'm like, I am so productive. And that's a time where I know I'm on point. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But when I say, I'm just so busy, I'm so tired, I'm like, yeah, something's off. You need to regroup, figure it out. Because busyness is not going to get you to your purpose. Strip your to-do list down to the essentials. Focus on the 20% that brings 80% of the impact. Listen to that. It's like your 80-20 rule. Some would say it's your 20-80 rule. Focus on the 20% that brings 80% of the impact. What is that for you? Eliminate or delegate the rest of it. And then number 3, create margin for what matters. Space is important. Purpose thrives in margin. Stop packing every minute. You don't have to sit here and be back-to-back schedule from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. to where then you fall in bed at midnight going, oh my goodness, I have to do this all over again. And then you end up doing it for like 26 years if you have lots of children. Because of the span of the ages, right? And you're like, go, 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 go. And you wonder why you're exhausted when you hit the big 3-0, 4-0, 5-0. And then when 6-0 comes, you're like, time for me to just go take a rest. You don't want to do anything anymore. But you know what? That's when we begin to thrive. We hit over the hill of 50. And it's like, man, now I can really start living because you've paid your dues. You've raised your kids. Now it's like, I know who I am and who I am becoming. So create margin for what matters. Block time for deep work. Time to sit, to be simply present. Time of reflection. This margin isn't wasted. It's invested in your well-being and purpose. Number 4, guard your intentional time like a fortress. Yep. You have to be that knight in shining armor for yourself. Treat the blocks you schedule for your purpose as untouchable and non-negotiable. The only time that it's negotiable is if there's a blood or a flood, like a major event happens, an accident, a death in the family, a medical diagnosis that everything has to halt. But otherwise, if it's an everyday event, no, it's a non-negotiable. No distractions, no compromises. Guard your most meaningful work and rest like your life and heart depends on it, because it does. When you don't have purpose, guess what? You lose that drive. You lose that passion. And your heart slows down. I'm not saying by the beat of it, the beats per minute. I'm not saying that part. But the passion of your heart. The one that says, I got something going. Why do you think as we age and we get older, people who are getting older and they have nothing to do, they kind of wither away faster? When you have one spouse that passes away and the second one is left alone, right? Usually within 1 year, at most 2 years, the other one goes because their love of their life is no longer and they've lost purpose. But I'm here to tell you, if you have purpose, there's always a life worth living. And then finally, number 5, reassess and adjust regularly. This is all about reflection. Purpose isn't static, and neither should your schedule be, right? It's flexible. It's called adaptability. Life shifts. Your priorities shift. Your kids grow up and it's like, I'm in a different season. You are. I'm in a different season right now. Not only do I have my 5 babies, but I have my 2 minis now. And it's fabulous. I've got kids that are going up and starting their new careers. It's fabulous. It's exhilarating. Exhausting too. But it's a new season. And I look forward to seeing their growth and what they want to do. So set a weekly check-in with yourself to ensure your time investment matches your true North Star, your why, what you're headed for. And yes, believe it or not, your why can shift too. So you've got to stay in touch with that. Why are you doing what you're doing? Living on purpose means living intentionally. It's not about just, no, I'm just going to get up and see what happens in life. That's great. Maybe it works with Flood Flintstone, but not with you, not with me. Living life on purpose and living intentionally means saying no to what steals your focus and yes to what fuels your soul. When your schedule respects your purpose, you don't just survive. Oh, my friend, you thrive. You're like, yes. And not that everything's going to be perfect, because it's not. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fail. But you're also going to succeed. And you're going to get up with a smile on your face and that purpose in your heart, that drive that says, you know what? I was created for more. And you are. You're created for more. You're made for more. So don't settle for less. You can break free from the overwhelm and reclaim a life where purpose leads the way, not your runaway to-do list. That's not what matters. When you are taking your last breath, do you really think you're going to lay there and say, what's on my to-do list today? No, you're going to be sitting there going, I should have done this. If only I would have. Don't live a life like that. Don't be at your last few breaths that you're wondering, gosh, if I just would have. No. Live a life where purpose leads the way. Stay strong. Schedule what matters. The world won't crumble because you chose purpose over busyness. In fact, you might change the world because you have your purpose. You'll stand taller and build a strong foundation. So go and do what God created you to do. Create your now. Go in peace. Be present. Be incredible. Be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Have a glorious, blessed day. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.